Are we becoming full-time content creators? Welcome back to After Hour Happy Hour. We are your chaotic but cathartic co-hosts. I'm Jamila.
I'm Vicky.
I'm Sharon.
For today's episode, we're talking all about content. This is kind of a follow-up to our quarantine episode where we just talk about what we want to do after quarantine. And for all three of us, really enjoy content creation. So we're going to talk all about it. Like, are we planning to ever become full-time content creators? Or is it just a side hobby that we have? So let's jump right into it.
Do you guys ever have a fear? Not fear, I feel like obviously yes, but like what would happen if content creating didn't work out?
I don't really have that fear just because I fully believe that it will.
I agree. And considering we started even our podcast from scratch and got to where we are now, like if you put in the time and energy, there's no way, at least maybe it's naive of me to think that way, but at the same time, I don't think so. Like I know it's going to work. Like it's going to work.
Dude, I have a fear that I'm going to end up, not that hating content creating, but it's just like, it'll exhaust me. It's like, I don't even know if I love the idea of putting my life out there. I think that's what I struggle with. Because even now, like I'm filming and I'm like vlogging and stuff. I'm just like not editing. And as I do it, like I don't feel myself growing to be like, oh my God, I like really, really want to vlog this. If anything, I'm just like, I don't want to. I have the idea of like, I don't want to constantly shove a phone in front of my face and not be present, because I have a very hard time being present because I'm always thinking about something else.
I know that, like, for example, even our podcast is content, right? But I've always had a feeling where like I could see Vicky doing the 9 to 5, quote unquote, maybe not for a corporate, but for a company that she believes in, or like her own independent, what is it called? Freelance. I feel like you would enjoy content that way, like creating things that way and seeing your things come to life, less than putting yourself in front of a camera and putting your own life out there.
Yeah.
I always understood that because like we're all pretty bad at social media, but like you put yourself out least.
No, I feel like I do it most. I post on my story a lot. You guys don't post on your story at all.
See, the reason why I don't post is because I'm lazy. I feel like I'm opposite. I love content creating and I love talking to a camera whatsoever. I just get lazy with doing it myself. Like if there was a person to be following me and be like blah blah blah, like I'll be more than happy to just talk to a camera. I'm just lazy to do it myself.
See, I don't think I want like YouTube to be my full time because I will end up hating it. I want to be able to like get the option to be like, I want to put this out for the world to see and I don't want to put this out for the world to see, instead of like constantly choosing it. And that's why I'm like, I know I'm like focusing the idea of getting my name out there more than I am creating a life and a job within it. Because once I have exposure to my name and like people know who I am and what I can do, then I can start making a living off of it. And that stepping stone is to start vlogging and stuff.
Is it because it's genuinely like a private thing? Like it's your life and you don't always want to put it out on the internet? Or is it also like, because you don't care about what people say or think. So it's less that. Right? Or is that a factor?
Like a lot of YouTubers, when they post, they're like, oh my gosh, I wanted you guys to like see and experience this with me. Or like they would do something for other people to see. A part of me can't wrap my mind around the fact that like, okay, people care enough to want to see this. And also like, it is a private moment to me. For example, the other day I was like biking home. And there was a moment where I was like biking across a bridge where it's like no moment will ever top this feeling. And I feel like a lot of people would be like, oh, this is a perfect time to like vlog it because I feel so good. And I also did film it, but it feels almost too intimate to put that on air because that moment felt so like euphoric for me. And I'm just like, I don't want to put that on the internet for people to know that I felt that in that moment. Things like that. I'm just like, this would make good content, but it's not content I want people to see about me.
Damn, that's so interesting.
I have a lot of things filmed and I document a lot of things in my life, but I never like put it out there because I'm just like, I'm doing this so that I can save it for myself, but it feels almost weird to let people see that part. Even with our podcast, like we have people who like leave hella mean comments and stuff, and like that doesn't get to me, but it's just like, oh shit, if I'm like vulnerable in front of a camera, like obviously that makes you more real as a person, like if you are more truthful and stuff. But at the same time, it's like I don't want to show people those sides of me almost, and it makes me feel fake. Like if I have that idea of like, okay, I'm gonna like keep certain ideas to myself, once you make it big enough, I feel like there's a certain expectation people have where it's just like, oh, why do they never talk about this? Or like, why is this life or this part of their life not shown and stuff? And I'm just like, damn, like, am I fake?
I think we're all, or I don't know, I've thought about that recently too. One, we would all make different types of content where I feel like, Vicky, it's really about like, I don't care to show you about my life kind of thing, which is completely valid. And then for Jam, it's for like entertainment, but also like you don't like to come off as like weak, quote unquote, or when you're having a moment, like you're very selective with who gets to see that. So you would never do stuff like that. And then for me, it's like a mix of Vicky's, it's my life, but at the same time, it's like the people for me, like how it will be received that makes me think that sometimes I wouldn't like it as much.
Just like what other people might say.
Yeah.
Do you think it'll get to your head if like people like make mean comments and stuff and you're reading through it?
100%.
I think especially in the beginning with the first ones.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's why like I find Michelle Choi very relatable because she vlogs, right? And she puts her, like she has a YouTube channel with like over 1 million followers, but at the same time, she's very private. Like she rarely posts on her Instagram stories. She may say she's doing something like, oh, I have a therapy session today, but she won't like go into the weeds of it, right? Because it's her private life. And she also like comments and stuff gets to her. So like I feel like balance. I don't know. It seems like she genuinely enjoys it, which is why she does it. It's just the point of making sure that you will actually like it, I guess.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, the more like financial stability side of me is I can't make content creating my full time because if I have to rely on the idea of people watching my stuff, I will constantly be on edge.
So then do you think your ultimate or like your pathway forward for when you come back from Korea will still be, will you recruit for a job or will you kind of just want to freelance and open your network that way?
Ultimately, I do want to freelance, but I don't think I'll have enough clients to sustain my living. I want to move out of the house and I like want to live on my own, things like that.
Yo, let's just get a studio and we'll just split 2 ways.
Exactly. A part of me is not even thinking about the idea of saving. Like, I just don't want to live at home.
Dude, you know how for a while, and even like a few months ago, I was like, I'm just gonna try to live at my parents' house for like as long as I can because I need to save money. Like, I don't want to move out. But then this month, I just had like biggest realization. Like, for as long as I live there, I'll never be able to fully do what I want to do and fully put my head where it should be because every time I'm at home, I always have these like thoughts. Like, even though it's not things that like my parents have said, but it's just thoughts that I think they're thinking. So every time I want to do something, like maybe like the thoughts are just racing my head. So I just concluded there's no way I could fully devote to what I want to do and fully give my time and energy and even achieve my goals if I don't get out of this house.
Dude, we have PTSD is what we have.
I have so much PTSD.
Like, that's exactly
I don't
me.
think I ever realized it.
I know my parents don't care about a lot of things anymore because I'm older, but I like can't help but not shake that feeling that they like will say something or like I can't do certain things anymore.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, that I can't. I have to move out.
I was actually going to text you, Vicky, like, hypothetically, if when you move back, what are the chances that you'll move out?
High.
And like we could like live together, 2 of us in a studio, even though we don't have any privacy, but it's not like we could bring guys home. But even if you do, I'll just like go over to someone else's place, okay? Or, you know, we've been in the same room before, so it's all good here.
No. Absolutely not.
Or maybe you find a boyfriend, you can stay over his place, or you know, vice versa. So I was gonna text you about it.
No, I like really, I feel bad because the other day my mom literally was like, oh, I don't want to like dictate your life, but like an advice I want to give you is like when you come home, like live at home so you can save. And as she was talking it and telling me these things, I was like, no, mom, like I'm gonna come home like a month and then I'm just gonna move the fuck out. I can't.
When you move out, your bank account goes down, but your mental health goes up.
Exactly.
This is a tangent, but Vicky, do you ever struggle with the motivation or do you just get shit done?
I don't get shit done at all.
Oh, are you sure?
Okay, like my thing is like if it's money on the line when I work for my clients, for example, like I'm a freelancer and if I don't do a good job, I probably won't get a referral from them. And that will cut basically all these connections. That freaks me out. But also it's just like if I don't get it done for them, that means they get their whole project delayed, which is like money on the line for them. So that is like the only motivation for me to like barely get things done. Most of the time when I come home from work, all I want to do is just lay on my couch and sleep. And that's been what I've been doing the last 2 weeks because I've been so burnt out.
I just always thought you just got shit done.
I don't.
I feel like Vicky always got shit done because she has so many things to do and she had to get it done.
Like deadlines.
Yeah, like I don't have the choice to like not get it done or like I wish that I could just ignore my responsibilities. That's why I'm like, I'm sick of taking care of myself because like I can't avoid these things.
Diamonds are made under pressure, you know?
Yep. I'm kind of over the idea of like saving, which is really bad. I feel like especially over COVID, I've always heard so many people say like, why are you saving?
Okay, I believe in that to an extent. Like, oh, you should like spend money on experiences. Like you shouldn't skip out on certain things. But at the same time, now that I make money and there's things I want to do and that requires me to be like financially stable first, you have to find that balance of being diligent about your money or being reckless about your money, because it's very easy to be reckless, but it's hard to be diligent about it.
We're not reckless about our money though.
Oh yeah, I think we're fine, but there's definitely people I see out there. I'm just like, how much money do you actually have in your bank account right now?
Oh yeah.
I think when I say that, it's just like, I don't want to overly save for the idea that like post-retirement, I'm going to get to do all these things, especially being here. I genuinely don't know why my bosses work, because when we don't get days off, they also don't get days off. They like work the same things that we do. So I'm just like, you're making bank, but not having the time to spend it. So is it really worth it?
I feel like it's the idea of having more wealth. Like more money feels more secure.
Yeah. And I like don't want to live that mindset. Yes, I will save for the idea that like emergencies happening or like when I retire and I like need savings like that, I will save. But other things where I'm just like, should I buy this or should I not buy this? And I'm like thinking about all the time, I'm going to do it. Yeah, I might not like absolutely need it, but I want it. And it's just like, that's the whole reason why I'm working. It's just because I want to buy things that I want now. And I shouldn't feel guilty about like spending the money that I'm working to get, especially at a shitty job that is just like making me go insane, you know?
Money is meant to be spent.
I think it helps that I'm like, I know I'm not going to have a family, like a child. So I don't need to. Like a child. Because like a lot of people are like, oh, generational wealth. But my generation ends here. So I don't need to like think about that.
No, I think now is just like the direction that we're going. There's no way we're going to be financially worried. Knock on wood.
I feel like we've talked about this where it's just like with our family, with how we are in our like careers. At the end of the day, if we just are miserable at a job, we could still make money, you know? Question. Do you guys have a moment where you're just like, this is my rich moment?
Now?
Not even now, but like a time in your life where you bought something or did something, you're just like, okay, this is my rich moment.
I didn't have that exact like thought like this is my rich moment, but this was a moment where I realized that I was very like lucky to have like parents such as mine, and I was like actually a lot better off than I thought. I think you were in a car ride, but when Amy asked like, do I have student loans? And then I said, oh, I don't have any. And I think that was a moment when I realized not a lot of people had the luxury like I did to have like their parents to be able to pay for their full tuition, and I didn't have to like worry about student debt afterwards. I really want to later on give that back to them in like another form, whether it be like buying them a house.
I feel that.
Okay, I don't know about rich moment. Like I feel poor 99.9% of the time, to be honest, even though I have a stable job. Like I say all the time I'm poor, and I'm like, I should stop saying that. But probably like me being able to live by myself now, because I know not everyone has the luxury of that. The only reason why I'm probably also doing it is because I got to save almost a year's worth of rent at home due to COVID. Yeah, it's a blessing because I can't imagine living with people. You're telling me that I would have had this mental breakdown that I had 2 weeks ago in front of roommates or housemates that weren't you guys? Nope, I would fly home.
Dude, that's why when I was like looking at places to stay, I was just like, do I want to live by myself? Like, not really. But I want housemates, but I don't want like random ass housemate.
Wait for me, Jam. Wait for me.
Don't worry, I will because I'm in Seattle in November and I'll come back as a holiday, see people, and then probably go back to Seattle for a little bit. Boom, you're back, Vicky.
You're right. Just gotta wait
And
a couple
both of
more
you guys
months.
could come to Seattle.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so ready.
Wait, do you have one, Vicky?
Dude, no, I was thinking this. I have this question because I'm like, that's the question I want to ask idols if I ever like meet them, even though it's kind of rude, I guess. But I just like want to know, like, you know how in Crazy Rich Asian it's just like they did a trip to a whole freaking island for like their honeymoon, whatever. I'm just like, damn, that's a rich moment. Like, you're rich. I was taught to always like think about money. And so even now, like, even though I can't afford certain things, I still am like, Sharon, where I'm like 99.9% I'm broke. Not even 99%. I am 100% broke because I'm still in debt and things like these. And so I'm just like, I don't think I've yet to have a moment where I'm like, okay, I'm rich. Because most of the time when I buy things, I'm just like, oh, fuck me.
Dude, same. Sometimes I like go to a grocery store, I pick up an avocado, $2.99. Oh, hell no, not eating that.
Dude, I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, how many hours of work does it take for me to eat this chunk of meat right now?
I felt that. Like, I love it when, like, okay, I don't love it, but, like, for example, this is just the first idea that popped up. Like, Kathleen Lights, I'm pretty sure she's fine. Like, she's well off. Like, homegirl stays at home all the time because she's introverted, like me, and has social anxiety, basically like me, and has, like, she has her own company, blah, blah, blah. Basically, she has money, right? But then it's nice to hear every now and then she'll be like, this is expensive, and it'll be, like, a $40 foundation. And I'm like, hell yeah, that is. She chooses when to spend that money at and not. So I feel like that would be us too. Like when we're there, we'll be like, it's expensive. And then, yeah, sure, we can. And that occasionally we would. But for the most part, we'd be like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10 million directions later. How are we before, during, and after quarantine? Before quarantine, I was having the time of my life, studying abroad, having absolute freedom, drinking till 6 a.m. Great times. I had interactions. I didn't live in a cave. I'm grateful for quarantine still because I discover a lot about myself.
So what are you going to be like after?
Well, what I'm gonna be like after? Well, I like to think that I'm gonna be a more mature version of myself.
I can see that.
Oh, yes, I should agree.
Yeah.
I told Olivia, she laughed at me.
Okay, but you also did so much self-discovery during quarantine because you had the time to.
That's true. That's true. Like discovering that I would fear solitary confinement.
Yeah, you're doing great.
More like emotionally immature because I feel like that was the part that I was always need to work on the most, and I will continue like work through that. And then I think I'm just really looking forward to reunite with the world. Like I think I've been in such a better mood lately, knowing that there's an end date for me. I'm not saying that COVID is over, but at least I could go out and see my friends. You know, go to Seattle, and whether it be staying inside and like watching watching K
Watching K barbecue and eating K idols? Wait, what?
eating BTS.
That's exactly
Not
it,
what I
Sharon.
meant.
I meant to say watching BTS and then like eating K barbecue. Like that's literally all I want to do, and just working towards my goals of like becoming a content creator, or you know, more towards discovering more of that creative side, creative path for me.
Okay.
I don't know how it was before COVID anymore, dude. I think I was just depressed as fuck before COVID and during.
What?
Yeah, before and during, I was just like not having a good time. And then after, I feel like I'm already in the after stages just because I'm here in Korea, get to go out and stuff. But in my mind, after is like going home and like seeing you guys. Honestly, that's how I'm deciding end of quarantine is when I see you guys. That's my quarantine. It's like I haven't been kept from the world. I've been kept from you guys.
Yeah. Facts.
So I'm just like, yeah, the day that I see both of you guys is the end of my quarantine. That's what I'm looking forward to.
We shouldn't have let you go of Korea, Vicky.
So Korea should all just move to Seattle together.
No, we needed this year for ourselves to realize, well, fuck. Can never not be with them.
Facts.
That's true.
Damn, our answers are all kind of similar because I was going to say something along the lines of like, I feel like I'm a completely different, actually maybe this is not related to you guys. I was going to say, I feel like I'm a completely different person before and after COVID, in the sense of, I think I am my best self in front of and with you guys, and then everyone else doesn't know me. Borderline like that extreme.
Yep.
Where I'm like, if I go out and have to socialize with people that I'm not like that close to, I'm a little concerned. Okay, not concerned, but like, I don't know, wavelength. Me having to pretend to be someone I'm not, or like, you know what I mean?
I don't know if it's bad, but I'm just like, I already have you guys who understand me well enough that I don't care to find more people to know me more. So like when people talk to me and they open up, and I'm just like, you can do it, I'll listen. But if you expect something in return, it's not gonna happen. I was just gonna say that our bond is so strong that literally me and Jam bought the same mascara, didn't tell each other. And then like literally the next week, Jam was like, you should buy this. And I was like, I bought this 2 days ago. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I think I was thinking this in the shower yesterday. I was thinking about like, oh, when I date or like when I get a boyfriend eventually, hopefully one day.
You will, bro. Don't say you will.
When that happens, I wonder if they'll think it's concerning that I only have like 2 people that I want them to meet.
No, because quality over quantity.
Right? Hey, it's time for you to meet my friends. Sure. Here's Jam Vicky. Done.
I'm so fucking ready to go home. And it's literally because of you guys.
Same. I'm just counting down the days a month now because Jam's coming next month.
I'm gonna be so FOMO.
I'm gonna document everything. See, this is what I mean by like, I'm not to the extreme of Vicky's like private versus personal life, because whatever stupid things Jam does, you bet I'm gonna post it.
See, this is a perfect thing because I hate like recording everything, but I'm totally fine with like doing everything.
That's true. You know what I did the other day? I walked to the elevator to go downstairs, pressed the button, heard 2 girls coming out of an apartment. I heard voices. They were coming to the elevator. I left. I went back into my apartment, waited for them to leave, and I went back and went down.
Trans worse than me. Way worse than me.
I literally like heard and I was like, I'm not doing this. Turned around. And I also didn't have my phone. Do you know how awkward elevator rides are? I was like, nope, not doing this. Not today. So that was our episode about quarantine, I guess, that went into 10,000 different directions, which hopefully makes sense. It was very as real as it gets here.
Yeah.
So that was it for today. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we will catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.